Hey, my name is Chameleon, and in this series, I share unpopular opinions of mine on movies, TV shows, and games. So, with that, today, I believe that the live action Disney remakes really aren't all that bad. Now, I'm not trying to tell you this as a fact, nor am I trying to change your mind. All I ask is that you hear me out. The Disney live action remakes offer a new perspective on the classic stories that many people grew up with and love. They can explore different themes, characters, and settings that were not possible or appropriate in the original animated versions. For example, the live action remake of Mulan focused more on the historical and cultural aspects of China, while the live action remake of Aladdin added more depth and diversity to the characters and the music. They showcase the advances in technology and filmmaking that have occurred since the original movies were made. The live action remakes use stunning visual effects, realistic costumes and sets, and impressive cinematography to create immersive and believable worlds. They also employ talented actors, directors, and composers who bring their own skills and vision to the projects. The live action remake of The Lion King, for example, used groundbreaking photorealistic animation to recreate the animals and the landscapes of Africa, while the live action version of Beauty and the Beast featured an all star cast and a musical score that incorporated new songs and arrangements. The live action remakes are not only aimed at children, but also at adults who may have nostalgia for the original movies or who may want to share them with their own children. They also cater to different tastes and preferences, as some people may prefer realistic and gritty adaptations, while others may enjoy whimsical and colourful ones. One thing's for sure, we all know it's difficult to hit every nail on the head, as there will always be something that someone doesn't like. Now, I could go on about this for a while, but for now, here are what I believe to be the top 5 Disney live action remakes, with one of these I believe being better than the original. Number 5. The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid's live action remake was mostly faithful to the original animated version, preserving the songs, the characters, and the plot. It also added some new elements that enriched the story, such as exploring the culture and history of the Merpeople and giving more depth and agency to Ariel's sisters. It had a diverse and talented cast that brought the characters to life, especially, and I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Halle Bailey as Ariel, who had a stunning voice and a charming personality. On top of this, it had impressive visual effects that created a realistic and immersive underwater world, as well as a colourful and vibrant surface world. Just like the original, it had a positive message about following your dreams, being true to yourself, and respecting different cultures. The Little Mermaid's live action remake was a good movie that honored the original while offering something new and exciting for the audience. Number 4. The Jungle Book. The live action remake of The Jungle Book was, I believe, a really good adaptation of the classic animated film. The Jungle Book led the charge in a way, with the realistic and stunning visual effects, the impressive voice cast, and the faithful recreation of memorable songs and scenes. The remake used cutting-edge technology to create lifelike animals and environments that immersed the audience in the world of the jungle. The voice cast featured talented actors such as Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, and Christopher Walken, who brought personality and emotion to each one of their roles. The remake also paid homage to the animated film by including some of their iconic songs, such as The Bare Necessities and I Wanna Be Like You. However, the remake also added a lot of new elements that enriched the story, such as the backstory of Mowgli's parents, the role of the elephants as the guardians of the jungle, and the darker tone that reflected the dangers and conflicts of living in the wild. The remake was a good example of how to adapt a beloved classic whilst respecting its source material and adding something new. Number 3. The Lion King. The Lion King's live action remake, I believe, was a great movie as it showcased the stunning visual effects and realistic animation that Disney is capable of producing. The movie recreated the iconic scenes and characters from the original animated film with breathtaking detail and accuracy. The movie also featured an impressive voice cast, which thankfully included James Earl Jones. The actors delivered emotional and powerful performances that captured the essence of their roles. The movie also honored the original soundtrack and score, while adding some new songs and variations that enhanced the musical experience. The movie also explored some themes and aspects of the story that were not fully developed in the original, such as the relationship between Simba and Nala, the backstory of Scar, and the role of the hyenas. The movie also maintained the humor, heart, and message of the original. The Lion King's live-action remake was a great movie that paid tribute to the classic while offering a fresh and innovative perspective. Number 2. Aladdin. With Aladdin being my favorite Disney movie of all time, I was very skeptical going into this movie, but it did not disappoint. Firstly, the casting was excellent, with actors who embodied their characters and really brought them to life. I, like most people, was skeptical about Will Smith as the genie. However, he was really the highlight, adding his own charisma and humor to the iconic role. The actors portraying Jasmine and Aladdin had great chemistry and portrayed their characters' growth and romance convincingly. As for Jafar, he was a truly menacing villain with a deeper backstory and motivation, much more so than the original. The music was amazing, with new songs and arrangements that not only enhanced the story, but the emotions too. The original songs were performed with passion and skill, capturing the essence of the characters and themes, with the new song Speechless adding more depth and diversity to the soundtrack, showcasing the talents of the singers and composers. The musical numbers were also visually stunning, with colourful costumes, sets, and choreography. The visuals, as I mentioned earlier, were spectacular, with CGI effects that created a realistic and immersive world of Agrabah. The magic carpet, the Cave of Wonders, the palace, and the city were all rendered with detail and beauty, making the audience feel like they were part of the adventure. Moving on to the story, it was faithful to the original, but also added a few twists and changes that made it more relevant and engaging. The live-action Aladdin explored more of the characters' backgrounds, motivations, and relationships, giving them all more depth and complexity. The live-action Aladdin also addressed some of the issues and criticisms of the original, ranging from changing where they go on the carpet ride, from unrealistic speeds going all over the world in the original, to staying within the one rough area in the live-action remake of A Whole New World, to something as simple as changing the day of the week in the song Prince Ali from Sunday to Friday in order to reflect the Islamic tradition of observing the holy day of Friday. Number 1. Beauty and the Beast. The live-action Beauty and the Beast was a remarkable adaptation of the classic animated film, with stunning visuals and captivating performances, as well as a faithful homage to the original story. The film managed to recreate the magic and charm of the beloved characters, while also adding some depth and nuance to their personalities and motivations. The film also featured some new songs and scenes that enriched the plot and the theme of love, courage, and acceptance. This film was a feast for the eyes, with dazzling costumes, sets, and special effects that brought the fairy tale world to life. Live-action Beauty and the Beast was also a delight for the ears, with superb singing and orchestration that enhanced the emotional impact of the musical numbers. Ultimately, The live-action Beauty and the Beast was a masterpiece of cinematic artistry that honored its source material and enchanted audiences of all ages. I do go much deeper into the Beauty and the Beast and why I believe Beauty and the Beast live-action remake was better than its original in another Hear Me Out, which you can find in the description below. Just something else to tell me why I'm wrong. But anyway, apart from that, ultimately everything I've mentioned in this video is just my opinion. And at the end of the day, that is all it is. It is just my opinion. It is not a fact. Regardless of whether you like or dislike, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments below. Regardless of whether you're here for 2 seconds or the entire video. Thank you for your time, but more importantly, thank you for hearing me out.